Hey everybody, Sacrificial Man here. I've been very, very bad about uploading videos. I just didn't want to say the same thing all the time. I didn't want to talk about losing weight all the time or doing it on a daily basis. But I have lost a lot of weight. But I did have a disappointment yesterday. I didn't lose as much weight as I thought I did. I thought that I was sitting at 155 pounds. I changed the batteries in my scale yesterday. And yes, I did kind of do bad eating this past weekend because I was out with my buddy. But I didn't clock in at the 155 or 159 or whatever I thought I was. I clocked in at 166 pounds. How did I jump 11 pounds? And so either the scale's wrong, or because the scale was slightly wrong, I was going into maintenance plus and ended up screwing myself when I really should have been still, like, you know, just doing maintenance or, deficit, calorie deficit. But that's not how it worked out. So I feel like I'm behind the curve. I still don't look bad. I know I was retaining water because I had eaten a lot of Chinese food on Sunday, but yeah, I had a girlfriend for a month. Um, Interesting enough, I met her while she was working for a company that delivered to my company. She turned me down, but then she quit that company and she looked me up and found me at my work, and we started hanging out, and things got serious pretty quick. And then before I knew it, she was dumping me, and I haven't talked to her in almost 2 weeks now, which is fine. I'm not worried about it, but she's definitely an attractive smoke show, which is great. So I got no complaints about how things really went. She did all the work. She asked me out and she dumped me, so I didn't have to do anything. I just had to just enjoy the ride, which I'm fine with. I know it sounds terrible, but hey, I took her out to dinner once. I know it sounds like a scumbag kind of thing, but this girl, you know, she was into me for me, I guess. And then she was a little bit of a nut job. And in the end, she told me that prior to us getting together, that she had been raped and never really made a huge, to do about it. She always said before we got together, she always said that there was an attempted rape, and she got away. But now the story changed, and she actually got raped. So she was telling me that she couldn't be in a sexual relationship anymore. So that was basically me. Whether she got raped or not is that's between her and whatever. But I knew then, right then and there, that it was more of to me it was more of a dumping, a very fancily worded dumping. So I realized that, yeah, it was the wave had hit the shore. It was a pretty quick wave though, but I reset my clock, so I don't have to worry about it. I'm not a statistic for a little while at least. I apologize about the dogs barking. We got a beautiful day out right now, and the puppy's inside because he's a maniac, and I would just want to relax. But the two old men are out here with me, and they're enjoying the sun and all that stuff. So now I have to get back into calorie deficit. I have to start working out more times a week. I have to go back to basically doing what I was doing this past October, which was kicking my own ass and really, like, pushing it, where I was doing like 6 to 7 miles a day, lifting weights 4 times, 5 times a week, eating just chicken and rice, no bad snack days, none of that stuff. And I think that's what I'm going to have to do, because I weighed myself this morning and I was 163, so that's still 8 pounds. Yeah, that's 8 pounds up. It's still, I could do the 4 pounds and be back down to 159, which would be awesome, but we'll see how it goes. I really want to be 155. I think that's my number that I've got in my head. If you look, my face is skinnier than I was in the first video and all that. Still got the double chin, but not half as bad as it was. I still got a little ways to go. Other news is my eBay store is doing quite well. I've sold a few cool pieces of automotive equipment that I've amassed over the years, and it's just helping pay for future projects and for possibly adding a carport to the front of my barn. So that's pretty much it. I just think that the world is still gone insane. I am definitely thinking that we are going to have a strong recession or depression. But anybody who didn't see that coming or who doesn't follow the market, I'm sorry, it's too late. It's too late. We knew that it was coming. All of us that were following the market has been waiting for this for like the last at least 2 years. We knew. I started following it back in 2022, so it's almost been 3 years. And I've done a lot of preparation for bad times in case my company decides to let me go, or times just get slow and they cut back my hours. So I mean, I got enough junk vehicles around here that I can always jettison the one with the payment if I had to, and I'm still right side up in the house, so that's a good thing. So yeah, I think that it's going to get rough. I think it's going to get really tough here for a while. But the prices of things have to come down. The pendulum has to swing the other way. You have to make things affordable for people, because if we continue going the way we're going to go, we're still going to end up wherever we're going to end up, because people can't afford anything right now. Nothing's affordable. So that's basically the same thing as being, unable to afford things because you're unemployed, but they're cheap at least, And then when things get cheap and the products start moving again, companies will rehire because they're going to need people to build these things. They're going to need people to ship these things. And also, since a lot of jobs, I won't say all, but a lot of jobs are coming back to the USA, that's going to involve hiring Americans, which is definitely something that we need to be doing right now. I don't think that people should be plugged into the government teat as much as they are. It's gotten to the point where I don't think people even know how to think for themselves anymore. I think all they know how to do is react. They don't know how to think. They don't know how to predict. They don't know how to be proactive. All they do is react. And they always react negatively. Like, oh, are you making fun of me? Are you insulting me? It's like, grow some thicker skin. I don't care. People say shit to me all the time, and I don't care. I really don't care. I don't care how anyone feels about me, and that's how everyone should feel. But everyone's so up in arms because they're so worried about not having status. Status is such a strong word in this country, and I'm just like, I don't care. I don't care. I've got the things that I've got, and it doesn't give me any status, but I got a lot of cool things that I like. And but if I pull up to the light next to them, they're gonna laugh at me because they're like, well, that's not a 2025 Camaro, or that's it's because I don't care. I'm not into that. It's not what I want. I like old Japanese stuff that is far from perfect. And I've got the dogs in the house, and retirement plan, all that stuff. So I hope it's effective. I hope what we're going through is going to be effective, because I'd like to be able to afford things too, again. And I hope that it's not long before the fix comes in. I don't want to be like 10 years from now and we're still monkeying with the system because we didn't get it right the first time. Sometimes it's a slow process, and sometimes you just got to reach in and just fix it and get your hands out quick, because you don't want to get your hands bit off. And I hope that's what it is that there is not just a quick band-aid, but I mean like a fix. Like, as I said, this market has needed to crash for at least 3 years that I'm aware of, and all they did was band-aid it in 2008, and everything that happened in 2008 is coming to roost now. Everybody went out and bought and lived off of credit cards. Shame on you, because I didn't, and I'm a one-man band, and I don't make a lot of money. I don't make a ton of money, but I certainly don't feel like I have to have something today enough to go out and just put it on a credit card and pay an interest rate on it. The only thing I use my credit card for is I get 2% back. 1% for spending the dollar, 1% for paying it back. So I treat it like it's a debit card. I pay it back immediately. Every day I make a payment on it once something posts. And at the end of the year, I collect my points, my check, and I have zero balance and I have no interest that I've paid. So it was just free money, really. And it's say, if you take 2% of what you spend for the whole year, and I'm talking like putting insurance on it, my propane tank, anything and everything goes on that card, and then I just treat it like it's a debit card. As soon as it posts the next day, I make the payment. I don't spend what I don't got. I keep my cash. I keep my cash in check. I use a planner, a daily planner that I use to check my money daily, so I know how much I can waste or how much I can't waste or whatnot, and stuff like that. People don't do that. They were just looking at the minimum payment, like, oh, I can have my whole life and pay $300 a month, and then as soon as you either A, go over your credit limit, or B, miss a payment, that's not possible anymore. So shame on anybody that really thought that the credit card was, in the words of Captain Murphy from C-Lab 2021, a magical goodies creator that you never had to pay back. Sorry, this is adult. This is called adulting right now. It sucks because it's not being a 14-year-old hanging out on your front porch playing guitar anymore. It's literally, cutthroat. You have to be smarter than the system. And I'm not saying I'm a smart guy, but I'm ambitious in a lot of ways. That I go, as I said, I go junkyarding at least once a month, and I stock up on things that I think would sell well on eBay, clean them up a little bit, put them on eBay, and I'm not gonna retire and do this, for life right now. But if I keep building the store up a little bit at a time, I can, not have to work 50 hours a week, because the eBay stuff covers some of it. Or I could work 50 hours a week and still make money off of eBay and just put it all into the eBay fund. But I went from being just a small time one or two item eBay seller to now I'm trying to get myself up to between 40 and 50 items up there every single time, which is still small time. That's still that's part time. I know people that got 600 plus items on their eBay store, and all it does is just ding all day. It doesn't matter if it's a $10 sale or a $100 sale. So me getting up to 40 or 50 items up there, that's a pretty decent chunk for somebody who's just an enthusiast and is just doing it part time. It might bring me a few extra $1,000 a year for that year, and I just put it all into a medium yield savings account, and I just call it dry powder. That's what it is. It's dry powder. So one day, if I'm driving along and I see a cool car that I can afford and I can pay cash for it, I'll do that. Or the big plan this year is to put a carport on the front of my garage, a 20 by 20 carport, so I can park vehicles under that and have basically 4 spaces that I can store stuff over the winter and work on things rain or shine, because I don't want to be out here turning wrenches on vehicles on a beautiful day. I want to relax. I want to hang out with friends. I want to go cook out. I want to go cruising. Those are things I want to do on a beautiful day. And on a rainy day, I don't want to be out here turning wrenches on my vehicles either, because it's a rainy day. I just would rather be either working inside the barn, which there's only so much I can do in there because I got 2 non-runners in there, and then I've got a non-runner out here behind the house. That's the one I really need to be focusing on. And if I can get the carport up, that truck can go and sit in front of the barn indefinitely, and I'll have room to do what I got to do with no rain. It doesn't matter. It could be pouring rain out, and I'd just be perfectly fine just working underneath it and actually get this truck done. And then I have something to kind of enjoy that I built from the frame up, and it's taken me almost 9 years now to do it. But it's what I want to do. Not having to answer to anybody has been key in my happiness. That's why when the girl decided that she didn't want to have anything to do with me anymore, she wanted to book, I didn't stop her. I escorted her out to her car. I gave her a hug and I said goodbye, and that was the end of it. I haven't chased her. I blocked her on everything. There's no way for her to get a hold of me now. So if she decides that, oh, I made a mistake, well, hey, it's like the stock market. You make a bad mistake and you lose your money. It's the same thing. I don't reheat leftovers, and I don't really care to deal with emotional baggage from someone else. I'd rather deal with my own. I got enough things on my plate. I don't need to be working on projects here. This allows me to have the time to be able to work on the things I want to work on with no permission. I don't have to be like, honey, all right, well, you can work on your vehicle, but you got to do the dishes first. It's like, I know I got to do it. I do it all. I do the dishes. I do all the cooking here. I do all the cleaning here. It's not perfect, but I'm a dude and I don't care. I'm not a pig. I don't have trash around in the house, but I got lots of like baseball hats and shirts and coats and just shit like that. And so, yeah, that's what it is. But when it comes down to it, I mean, that I just bought a Chevy Tahoe. It's kind of a piece of shit, but I bought a Chevy Tahoe a couple weeks ago. Just paid cash because I was looking for a beater. It's not really my idea of what I wanted, but it'll tow my snowmobile. And now that's the snow is all gone. Next season, I don't know if this Tahoe is going to make it, but yeah, it seems to be okay for the most part. I got to do O2 sensors on it, and I really don't feel like working on something I just bought. But as I said, it was $1,000 piece of shit. So all it's got to do is make it 1 year, and I've done pretty good for myself. So. Anyways, like, share, and subscribe. I am the Sacrificial Man, and I am just, So to recap, I got screwed by my scale. I got dumped by my girlfriend. My eBay store is doing okay. And I was ready for this economy to crash 3 years ago. So, my mercy goes out to my friends and family for what they're going to go through. But I've been telling people for a long time, and everyone thought I had a tinfoil hat on. So, hey, whatever. What are you going to do? Lead a horse to water. And so, yeah, I'm just going to get back into trying to lose weight. I'll catch you guys later. See you. Thanks again.